Welcome to the SWBL podcast presented by 1356 Public House. And tonight, my buddy, John Leicht, captain of the SWBL Orioles, is joining me to talk everything orange and talk about the defending champions as we head into season 22. We're going to break down the roster, look at the division, the schedule, all the stuff that you're accustomed to hearing on these team previews. So, first off, John, thanks for joining, man. How are you?
I'm doing real well. I love being here. I love talking to you. Um, and it's going to be a good conversation. So I am very excited to be here.
Me too. I always love having you on the podcast and chatting with you about everything wiffle ball and family and all that. So it should be a good time. So let's start as always. Let's just kind of do a quick recap again on season 21. You guys ended up 7-3. You won the championship. So we don't have to break it down too much. You know, there's a whole podcast. So listeners out there, if you haven't heard that, go back and listen to the most recent Champions podcast where we get the whole squad on. We talk about moments throughout the season, the playoff run. So we did a big breakdown on last season with you already, but you know, now that it's marinated and we're heading into season 22, any other thoughts that maybe come to mind as you're looking at this next year and trying to defend your title?
Um, it was a lot of fun, but it's always a lot of fun, even when you don't win the championship. Um, it goes to show in this league that if you can get hot at the right time, good things can happen. And we tended to get hot at the right time and good things happen. So I don't want to like give my secrets away to uh, too much, but anyone can do it. And just happened to be that last year was our turn and we got hot at the right time and it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, it helps having a really good team. Um, but you're right. I mean, you know, part of the A's conversation when they went to the championship, it was the hot team. The Expos were the hot team
Yeah,
when they
exactly right.
won, and the competition has gotten stronger and stronger from 1 to 9. And so, yeah, you're right. I mean, if you can build some momentum from Sunday into Monday, Sam Skibby is coming into our
We can't talk about last year without having by last year's team MVP join us, can we?
surprise guest. Hold on, he is connecting to audio. Guys, I did not know that Sam Skibby would be joining us. Hello, Sam.
Hi, is it better if I do it this way or this way?
No,
Is
the
this
other
good?
way. The other way is better.
Okay, here we go.
What's up? I seriously, I didn't know you were doing this.
Well, hello, Brian, John. Thanks for having me. I got the blur on my shoulder and ready to, for season 22. And I hope everything's going well with the podcast so far. Just thought I'd jump in and say hello.
Hello. Yeah, we were just kind of recapping season 21 and starting to talk about the roster. So, yeah, I'm glad to have you here, bud.
Yeah, I was popping around. I was actually looking for the cooking channel, but I got this instead. So I thought I'd, say hi.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess let's break down the roster now that we have multiple players on. So obviously the two of you are here, and Sam, you came in at number 3. I want to give you your props for the top players there. You seem to be really solidifying yourself in that 3 spot over the last few years. Can't seem to break ahead. You got Brett back. He ended up in number 5. Peter ended up having a big fall, but still made it, and he was top 15. And you know, I think it's no surprise, or it's not really a question that he had one of his more down years last year. And then you had PG retire, but you've added Jackson Crosley, which was probably the biggest move in the offseason. So talk about that. Talk about the addition of him and what he's going to mean for your team.
Yeah, I think I'll let John take this one. It was just a quick pop in for me, Brian. So I'll
Oh,
see you
okay.
later. Great to see everyone. Bye,
You
John.
too.
Bye,
Hey,
Brian.
Sam.
See you, Commish.
Once PG made the decision to retire, we knew we needed to get somebody, and we that was a group thing discussion. That was one of our many conversations in Sam's basement over some drinks, and different names were floated. And I suppose Brett had who plays Mo with Jackson had kind of had some indications that was a possibility. And I told Brett, I said, listen, he's under contract, so I'm not going to get involved. But if this escalates, just kind of let me know. And Brett kind of took the lead on that. I think he had some support from Pete, and but it was mainly Brett. And then it got to a point where I think Jackson found a way to get out of his contract, and at that point, it's just a no-brainer. He is easily one of the best pitchers in the league, if not the best pitcher. And speaking of great pitchers in this league, I couldn't talk about great pitchers in this league without having Brett Spencer join us. So once he connects to audio, he can opine on this a little bit. But Jackson's a good hitter. He's a good hitter as well.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, guys.
Hey, I'm just getting all kinds of surprises. This is the best.
What's up, Brian? I've been watching you like all day.
Really?
Just watching the athletics one.
Oh, sweet. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, the Expos one the other day, man.
Yeah.
Crushing.
Starting to come out now. I mean, we're right on the heels of the league. So this is my wife hates it right now because I am in like recording podcast mode constantly with all of these. And every year she's like, oh, you just do too many podcasts. I'm like, I literally have done 4 in like the last 6 months. So it's just, yeah, but she's good. And this is like so much fun. Sam just popped on a minute ago and now I've got you.
Just hopping in, say hi and see how things were going. And, hopefully the talk has been going well about our last year. It was a pretty decent year.
Yeah. I think something happened.
Yeah. We did pretty well. So, not much to say about that,
Yeah.
Turn the page.
Yeah. We were just talking about the addition of Jackson. And since I've got you guys on here, I'm curious. Obviously, I think the biggest question with Jackson too being on the team, you guys are pretty stacked at pitcher now. You've got a lot of really good pitchers and not enough innings. So I'm really
curious. You missed your chance. Sam, our pitching coach, was just on here and he popped out before you could ask him the question. So
well, he backed out, but I got Brett here too, and he was the MVP of the playoffs. He pitched you guys to a championship. So having you guys both on here, I'm just curious. Like I think everybody's curious. How is this rotation gonna look? Because honestly, there just aren't enough innings for everybody.
That's a good and a bad thing. I honestly think, we might get we'll get some flack for Jackson, I'm sure. But if you're looking at it from another team's perspective, like you don't face then Jackson and Sam and me, you're going to face one of the three of us, which it's helpful in the long run. We thrown out some ideas for how the rotation is going to look. Nothing's been settled. We like some things that have not been done before in terms of innings and who starts and when and who doesn't, who ends the game. We're trying to figure out how things are going to work in terms of just, I don't know. We're going to roll out Jackson quite a bit, I think. Save some guys for the playoffs and kind of, play the matchups, I think, in terms of that. But yeah, John's right. You should have asked Sam. I don't have as much information as Sam would.
Yeah. Well, he was quick to jump on and off. How are you, by the way? We don't have to keep talking wiffle ball.
I'm okay.
How's everything going? Everything's life is good. You got a nice trim going, little facial hair going too.
I got a haircut today, actually.
Nice.
But overall, I've been okay. I've been having migraines and some other issues, so I'm hopeful that everything's cleared up by May. I know we've kind of talked about that because our game here is the game against the Astros here is what, a week and a half
from Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm still fighting it, but I'm hopeful that everything will kind of be working its way out. But it's been a rough couple of months, unfortunately, health-wise.
Yeah. Well, we're all pulling for you. Hope you can get well soon. Thinking about you, buddy. But this is great. This is, sorry to all the other teams, but this is already my favorite podcast. So
in terms of
for me, I took over John's speaking part, so I'm gonna head out and eat some dinner.
All right, buddy. Take it easy.
Right,
we'll talk to you
buddy.
soon.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
No, and he already told you more than I was ever going to tell you about pitching. So I guess the timing of that was pretty perfect. In terms of the rest of the roster, I mean, clearly the thing we do is lean on the 4 studs, and that's what we're going to continue to do. I'll also tell you, and this isn't gamesmanship, I'm just being, maybe I'll sneak peek the roster the lineup that we're going to roll out in the game against you guys. We're gonna start it off with Brett leading off. We're gonna have Sam bat 2, and Jackson is going to bat 3rd, and Pete's going to be 4th, and that's the lineup that you will see a week from Sunday. And we mixed it up a couple times last year, but we once we hit something, we kind of stuck with it even through the hard times. And that's going to be kind of what we start with, and hopefully we don't need to make adjustments, but if we will, we will. We talked about it. This is what I wanted to do. I think a couple guys wanted to do something a little different, but I got enough support that this is what we're going to do.
It sounds like a good lineup. I mean, again, you got all 4 of your guys made the top 22. So you got a good team. Maybe you tweak things here and there if you have to, like you said, but these guys also, they've always had a solidified spot in a lineup. They thrive in that. They thrive in knowing what's happening and where they're going to be. And so I think it's a good move. My only question, I guess, is like, how do we get you some more playing time? How do we get you on the field more, get you some at bats?
Yeah, it's funny because Sam, we were together 2 weeks ago. Sam said something to me about it. He was fairly vocal last year too. And, I batted twice against the Marlins, and I just, for whatever reason, I didn't feel comfortable. And it's in years past, I've, maybe I haven't performed well, but I at least felt like I could do better. And after 2 bats against the Marlins, just didn't really have it. And then we kind of, had some struggles. At one point, we felt like we were fighting for a playoff spot, so wanted to roll the 4 best out there to make sure that we put ourselves in a position to not make the playoffs. But this year, I think it's going to be a little bit more relaxed. I will make it a point to get more at bats. I suspect that even more than that, I'll probably play a few more innings in right field. So it'll be a little bit more of me, but not a whole lot more. And I usually pick my spots. I'll play against the Marlins. Absolutely. Everyone knows that. Probably leave myself off in that game. I know.
Yeah. Oh,
I know Pete's excited for that game too. I'd like to play against the Expos, but like everyone else in this league, that knuckleball makes me look stupid. And if I'm going to give myself limited at bats, it's not going to be against the knuckleball. That's for sure. So we'll probably find another couple spots as well, but really want to get the 4 key players in time.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can talk Kevin to pitch in Sam or somebody, Sam Eichenlab against you guys, and then get in the game on that one.
I don't think Jimmy, knowing him, I don't think he's going to give up the opportunity to pitch against our guys. So they'd have to chase him to get me in that game. Probably is what I think it's going to have to be.
Okay. Well, we can keep our fingers crossed. Last couple of questions about the roster. Obviously, so you guys have been a team for 2 years.
Yep.
You've been in the championship for 2 years, winning one of those.
Yep.
It's hard to say, but how do you improve? I mean, I think Jackson is a nice addition and will help, but how do you improve? What are you looking for? Oh, Sam's coming back. And McGuire. Hey, McGuire.
That's why he's coming back. You going to bed, bud?
Yeah.
So go Orioles.
Yeah.
You think Daddy's team's gonna win the championship again? Yeah. We love trophies in this house. So 2024 back-to-back champs. Gold. See ya.
See ya.
We were 7-3 last year, and probably should have been 6-4. Don't forget that we lost to we probably should have lost to the Marlins. We're in a home run derby, and Jordan starts with two dongs, needed 3 to tie, and then he promptly got 3 outs. That's a game I know Eli wants back, and it could have been 6-4, and then maybe we're in the 2-3 game, we were at the home team, things go differently. So, regular season last year could have been better. And then don't even act like we're the best team in this league. There's probably a lot of people who voted for the Yankees #1, despite us being overall champs. So having good teams like them to compete against, and the Twins, I mean, you kind of have to work to improve. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind. This isn't 10 years ago where you had 2 good teams at the top and then everyone else was terrible. There's even that middle pack. I'm not going to say that Rockies and the Astros can't pass us, because that's a thing that could absolutely happen. So we're just going to have to use that motivation to keep us motivated and do better next year.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get into the power rankings in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, like you said, that there are teams in that second tier, even teams in that third tier, who, have a legit shot of making a run or making the playoffs or winning their division. And so you're right. It's not like it used to be where it's the same, 4 or 5 teams always making the playoffs, and the other teams are always at the bottom.
So I'm pretty sure last year Astros and Rockies made the playoffs, but the year
Yes.
before neither team made the playoffs.
Correct.
So it's always constantly changing.
For sure. We've got another possible special guest. Let's make sure he unmutes himself here.
Well, we'll move on to next year. We'll see if he ends up beating us eventually.
Yeah. So let's jump in. You kind of mentioned your division, or some of the teams last year. So you're in the Cardinal Blinds division this year. It's the first year that it's been a little bit different. Hello, Peter.
I thought this was Domino's. What is this?
Yeah. This is Pizza Hut, actually.
That works. Stuffed crust.
Yes.
Brian,
I'm very stuffed.
Peter,
what
are you guys doing?
What are you doing?
I'm in my basement. Just finished a workout. I'm just gonna hit some protein. What are you guys doing?
We were going to talk about next year, actually. What do you think about season 22 coming up here?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's it'll come quick, and yeah, I'm optimistic. What's the topic you guys are on right now?
Well, we just started talking about the division, and you guys are in the Cardinal Blinds division. You got the A's in the division again for the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah.
But it did switch up. Astros have been in the division with you for the last 2 years, but now the Rockies, who, had probably the best turnaround of any team last year. They are now in that slot. So you've got, the Rockies and the A's. And so when it came down to the draw and it falling out, just what are your guys' thoughts on the division?
I mean, I think we got the toughest one. Obviously the Rockies making the playoffs last year, and I fully expect them to make it again. Not to jump ahead to predictions. And what I really would like to pick the Athletics to be that team as well. It's never going to happen when they're in the same division as the other wild card team. But I listened to Evan Quo, that podcast was released today, and he sold me. I mean, some of the things he said about the 4 horsemen and 4 guys all year, and they know they don't have Paul, so they all have to step up. I mean, if they do that in the right way, I'm not saying they can't make a run at the playoffs, and it's just gonna be tougher with them having potentially the tough division that they have.
I have not listened to the A's podcast yet. I saw a phone notification, so I'm a little more pessimistic, I think, without Paul. I mean, we've seen him 3 years in a row, and there's some question marks there without Paul, and I give Paul so much credit. I mean, losing Paul, that's like losing Sam Skibby or Brett Spencer or Jackson Krausley, or guys of those caliber that I wish I could play with on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
I would almost call the A's the Z's, because I feel like you can sleep on them. I'm not super scared, and I respect Evan. Let me listen to the podcast. We'll see. But I am scared of the Rockies. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they can bring. Mm-hmm. I'll pause it there.
Yeah, I mean, they got Chad Young, who was Cy Wiffle last year, had a great year.
Tony Cochran.
Yeah. see
right?
what he does. But
Yeah.
Jason had a great season last year. Blake is always really good. And you got Brian there creating outs too. So they're a tough team to beat too. But it's got to be nice to, I mean, I know you got the A's still, but it's got to be nice to have a little bit of change up. If you'd had the same division 3 years in a row, I think you'd start to get a little bored with it.
Yeah. Well, that makes our Astros game even that much more important. I mean, it's one game, not two.
Mhm.
And I'm not really scared of Blake though. He just bought a big house. Like he's gonna be busy. Like he's
Yeah.
furnishing that thing and he's doing stuff to the walls. He keeps Snapchatting me. And it's like that's gonna take a lot of time.
Yeah, he might be tired from all the picture hanging and
Yeah.
painting. How are you, by the way?
I'm doing good. I'm slowly realizing that like in a month roughly, wiffle ball will be here. So
Mhm.
I haven't really swung a bat officially, except a little kitty one. I don't have to practice pitching now,
Yeah.
So I'm ready to go.
Dude,
Yeah.
no, today's April 24th, and the Friday of opening weekend is May 24th. We're exactly a month away.
See,
Yep.
that's what I'm saying. Time flies, guys.
This is why you need a really solid, organized captain to keep you on track.
That's right.
So, yeah, I mean, your first game is a little over a week and a half. It's about away, so that's there against the Astros. And I mean, we
Yeah.
don't really need to get into that game at all.
Well,
But
we'll just say I told Jimmy, I'm like, whoever wins, we're gonna get Jimmy's mom's gonna make a peanut butter pie. It's either going to me or it's either going to Jimmy. So
That'll win the game.
that's gonna be a little rivalry that's kind of
yeah,
fun.
a little bit more on the line there. It'll be the Orange Bowl, is what some people are starting to call it. I'll
Jimmy would
say,
probably share with me too.
yeah, Jimmy would share with you.
You want some pie? Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody seems to be working out and lifting. I mean, I've heard rumors that Gus has been in the gym all year, and
That's why I'm doing it. So I heard Gus
yeah,
was doing it, so I'm doing it.
yeah. Everybody wants to be like Gus,
Yeah.
though.
Can't wait to see him.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fun. I mean, I can't wait for the whole season to see everybody. I get the benefit of talking to, you guys and doing the podcast and kind of chatting with different people throughout the year. But some people don't see everybody until, Memorial Day weekend. So, yeah, man. What else you want to talk about while you're here? Or you want to just keep rolling through some of the questions?
Go through the agenda, and then maybe I might have to go. I mean, I might.
Well, yeah, let's go to the schedule. So, we talked about that preseason game, and then you've got the Yankees for opening night. So it's the rematch of the last two championship games. So you're starting off that weekend pretty hot. And then, when I was looking at
let's pause there. Friday night.
Okay.
I mean, I think that the idea there is that like everyone in the league is around, and
Mhm.
I don't want to I would think that if you're going to want to watch a game that you're not participating in this league, you're going to want to watch the teams that have gone at it in the championship the last two times. So I hope there's a lot of people around watching that game. And I know they might be rooting for the Yankees and not us, and that's fine. I just hope there's there to enjoy it, and that should be just a fantastic game coming down to the last inning.
Yeah.
That makes makes me think that I agree, and maybe we need to bring back some of the old guys to cheer for the Orioles. But I'm excited for it. But as the fourth best guy on the team, I could take a little seat back and watch Jackson work a little bit this year,
Well,
and have a
yeah,
little.
don't sell yourself short. You've won an MVP. Jackson has not.
Yeah, I know. Almost 10 years ago. Realistic approach, but I'm coming in. I'm take the over on 6 home runs this year, though. For me, definitely gonna crank that. Like,
Yeah.
double it.
Relaxing. You be in that relaxing hole there. So,
All right, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Go on to Saturday.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, overall, though, have you looked at the whole thing? We don't need to break down every single game. I mean, but when you look at your schedule overall, is there anything that sticks out to you? I mean, to me, it looks really balanced. You don't have a big run of of the top tier teams. You don't have, any kind of really crazy times. You've got the early morning game on Monday, but otherwise, you've got you've got your big break on Sunday. Does that maybe affect, especially with the rhythm of trying to build into the playoffs? Like if you're having that big break on Sunday afternoon, do you think that'll affect anything? Or,
I
because you might be looking at, I mean, real best case scenario, you're 9-0 there,
Yeah, I mean, best case scenario, but even if you're 8-1, 7-2, I mean, I guess provided so long as you're not 6-3 and a loss maybe takes you out of the division. I doubt a 6-4 team's ever not made the playoffs, but you wouldn't want to be in a situation like that. But if we can be in a good spot, that long break's not gonna scare me. Obviously, I mean, part of having Sam and Brett on your team is they're it's not like they're gonna go home and chill. Like they got stuff to do. They're gonna be working like the rest of you guys in the front office. Pete too. Um, I can't go home. I got to stay around for the All-Star game and do that draft and that. So I mean, Orioles will still be present during that. Obviously, early morning game against the Marlins is a good way to get the day started. All the divisional games, we play the A's Saturday afternoon. That's one that I would like to think that we should win, and you need to go out there and do it. And that's one that, like, there's really no reward for winning. But if you lose, then all of a sudden you got to wake up the next morning, play the White Sox, and then play the A's again. So, they're all important. And if you go on a skid into that, and then all of a sudden your second to last game's against the Twins, like then you're in trouble. So, for that reason, they're all important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got that last game's against the Rockies too. And like you said, I mean, depending on how it shakes out, that could be for the division as well.
I don't know who scheduled that, but that was dumb.
Well, I think didn't Sam schedule it, but I
Yeah.
think I the Monday game Rockies, like that could really mean something. Saturday, it's always hard, but if I'm eyeing a couple victories in a row, Saturday afternoon, we got to beat the A's at home. And then we got the drunk Expos at 5. And I say that because Jimmy Nelson cited it himself on the recent podcast. He doesn't, maybe they'd be a little better in the morning. I get that. But hey, you gotta be versatile in this league. Rain or shine.
Yeah.
I'll play in the dark.
Yeah. Yeah, they complained a lot about that A's game in the dark, and I get it. I played in the dark too, but yeah,
Not fun, but it happens.
I like the idea of a beer count. I think really Kevin really needs to institute that, and I really like the idea of doing it like we said on the podcast of 1 beer per strikeout, so it would motivate his performance.
I agree.
I mean, well, he had like 20-something strikeouts last year. I think he drank 20-something beers on Saturday. So
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a drastic change for him.
Yeah, but he might not be hammered by the time he plays those late games. So we'll see. Any other games that stick out or that you kind of highlighted or circled?
No, but I would looking at the schedule now. There is a scenario where maybe we're playing the Rockies on Monday morning, and maybe they win and in, and they lose, they're out, and then I got the Spencer Bros going at it like that. I mean, I'd be there if I were
Yeah.
on the team. I'd want to watch that for sure. That could be fun.
Yeah, I mean the races have gotten more and more tight every year. I mean, every year it seems like we have more teams actually in the mix for those wild card spots going into, Sunday afternoon, Monday, and one game here, or even, I mean, it's come down to run differential at times too, where people are counting the run differentials and scenarios. And so, yeah, that can definitely come down to a win and in for the Rockies or potentially for you, and for the division, like, who knows what could happen if the White Sox turn it around, if the Marlins have a good year, A's, bounce back too and take a couple from the Rockies or you guys, who knows? But that game, I like that Sam does the division games on Monday because it has led to a lot of scenarios where the games become more important. So with that said, let's talk some power rankings. Now, the overall team power rankings have not come out yet, but the power rankings on pitching, fielding, and hitting did come out. We don't need to really spend a whole lot of time on that. I think you guys got your flowers in those spots. But my question, I guess, is where do you think you will be ranked and where should you be ranked? Team overall.
Overall. I feel like we will be ranked one. I mean, well, when post Jackson news voting, I mean, I think there's always the defending champion credit. So that's why I think, and people would want to curse us also. They probably think the curse still exists. It was broken a few years ago. So I would say we should be one, but I mean, I don't feel if we weren't, I would say makes sense, maybe. I don't know.
I think we should be one for the sole reason we won the championship last year, but I think we will be two, and I'm not really going to be all that upset about it because it's totally fair.
Yeah. Number one in that scenario going to be the A's, the Expos, Marlins.
Yankees.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Like they're that
Yeah.
good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, they're no joke, man.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Well, let's pick some winners in the other divisions, okay? So in the Ketting Eye Center division, you got the Yankees, the Marlins, and the Expos. Who you picking? Division winner.
Yanks.
Well, yeah, Yankees.
Yankees. All right. Corner Pub and Grill, Twins, Astros, White Sox.
Yanks.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna say Twins with the lowest level of confidence I've had in a division winner since I started doing these predictions.
Yep.
Okay. Now pick your wild card teams. 2 wild card teams.
So Rockies, Astros.
Yeah, I actually have the exact same two in that order. I kind of want to see the A's do it, but they just got a bad division. I mean, if the A's were in the division with the Marlins, then I think they probably get it done. So I'm gonna
Hold on. Aaron, where's my meatloaf? You did.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
But again, the Marlins can definitely do it. The White Sox could definitely do it. I guess we haven't really seen the full White Sox on display. They struggled last year. That you can't start 0-4, whatever they started in this league. Like you can't. Part of the reason we beat the Yankees in the championship game is because we got up on them early. I mean, if you fall in a hole here in standings and games with individual performance, forget about it.
Yeah, it's tough to claw back when you're looking up or you're struggling as a player or as a team. It even when you're in those close games and you could say, okay, moral victory, or hey, things go this way or that way, we're right back in that, and that's true because there are teams who end up 2-8, 3-7, and they lose by a couple runs in a couple games and they're right in it, but it's hard to like dig yourself out and really be looking up at some of these teams and thinking how are we going to catch these teams. But to the White Sox credit, like you kind of mentioned, they started 0-5 and then they rattled off 4 straight victories and everybody's like, oh crap, yeah, and then they ended up losing that final game. But yeah, I mean,
well, and you're going to ask this question to all the captains, right? And let's just pretend that I think, and I don't think this, but let's pretend that everyone picks the same 3 division winners as years past. Just for illustrative purposes, you're going to get people who say the Rockies, the Astros, the Marlins, the Sox, and I'm saying I really, really, really want to get the A's in there. So let's 4.5 to 5 teams for 2 slots. So it is going to be a fun season 22.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's jump into hard hitters, rapid fire edition, where we're just going to ask some wiffle ball questions, some questions for fun. You can give any kind of extra caveats if you want, but just try to keep it quick. So, what is the final record for the Orioles?
8-2.
8-2. That's a good year. Who is the team MVP for season 22?
Jackson Crosley.
Jackson, you guys got a lot of high hopes for him, huh? He's pretty good though. What's your favorite show?
And it changes so often. I'm rewatching The Office and Breaking Bad right now. Those 2 would be up there. I don't really like to do favorites because then it makes like everything else seem less important.
Okay.
But if it's a good show, I'll watch.
Sweet. Who will lead the league in home runs in season 22?
who will, or who do I want that's realistic? So who do I want that's realistic? I think it'd be fun if like Sam Bakula just like every time, dong,
That would be
dong,
great.
dong. And that would be scary because then they would be unbeatable.
Yeah.
But who I think will, I will give a nod to Spencer Bogad this year.
Spencer. Who is your least favorite team to play against?
Man, that's a shitty question because I don't know that I have one. Like they're all fun in their own way. But so I mean, if you answer it from like a competitive standpoint, the Yankees is the toughest one to win. If you answer it from, I mean, I'm not going to answer it. Like they're all fun. I don't have one.
Okay.
My worst team to play is the teams that I play in July and August, September, and we're not actually playing, right? Because those aren't very fun.
Yeah. What is, you guys have only been around 2 years, and you've got, like you mentioned, you've got a lot of front office members on the team, so they're pulled in a lot of directions throughout the weekend. But have you guys established any kind of traditions, anything that you really love that is unique to you guys?
I mean, in the course of the weekend, no, but we have made this kind of a year-round thing. So we're getting together, trying to do it monthly, but bi-monthly. We've advertised our championship parade last year. I thought that was a big hit. I mean, that was a lot of fun. So I mean, I think it's just spending time outside of Wiffle Weekend as a team has been kind of the best part of it.
Sweet. I love that. All right. Who's going to lead the league in strikeouts as a pitcher?
Jimmy.
Yeah. He's pretty good too. Who will lead the league in strikeouts as a hitter in season 22?
Brian Benware.
Fuck, dude. Don't put that.
I heard you play it full time. Come on.
Well, I'm trying. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
We're going to see, but I won't be playing full time if I'm leading the league in strikeouts.
Ask. I found this out like 2 couple weeks ago. I was hanging out with the whole team, and I said, I immediately cut everybody off. I was like, that's awesome. I was like, good for Benware. He's good enough. He can do it. He's not going to get any younger. No offense. Like, this is his time to do it. I'm proud of him for doing it. He's making the right choice for himself and for his team. And it was really quiet. And I was like, don't worry, guys, I'm not going to do that. But no, I meant everything I said. I'm excited to hear that. I want to see it.
Thank you. But, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So, all right, who is going to win the championship?
Orioles.
All right. So from your 4 starters, you have to start 1 player, bench 1 player, and trade 1 player.
Mm-hmm.
Who you picking?
Start Jackson because we got him. I just got him. I kind of want to use him.
Mm-hmm.
I would trade Sam because I think I could get the most value for him. And I would bench Pete, but all that means is then he's just hanging out with me on the sideline. So we're just chilling. So
yeah. Sweet. All right. Well, that is going to wrap up basically everything I have on paper for this episode. Going to thank our sponsors again, 1356 Public House, who is our presenting sponsor for season 22 again. Cardinal Blinds and Shutters, Ketting Eye Center, Corner Pub and Grill, our division sponsors. We've got Spencer Gear, Chill Designs, Breckx, Everdolce Vita, Four Hands Brewery, Logix, Johnny Pops, Ballast Dental Care, and Andy's Frozen Custard, all returning as well. Stay tuned. We've got more content coming out at you guys. We'll have power rankings coming up, season preview. We'll get that kind of done. And if we have some time, we'll try to get something else in before the weekend, so that we've got plenty of podcasts to build up the anticipation for season 22. John, any final words, man?
The list of sponsors is super impressive, and good on everyone in the front office and Sam, but I know there's others who get those sponsors. Special shout out, Charlie Bakula gave the winning team electric toothbrushes last year. That was like a life-changing experience. I'd never had one before. I'll never go back. So, Ballast Dental Care, Charlie, thank you. Benware, I showed you yours. Show me mine. Who you starting against us next week?
Well, you didn't tell me who you're starting pitching.
I don't know. Ask Sam. He'll probably tell you. I
Well,
I actually don't know. But
I haven't made that decision, but obviously it'll be Cam or Jimmy, and they're both going to be in the lineup. So that's, what's coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're going to, for the most part, stick with the same lineup we had last year. So we'll have Cole leading off. We'll have Jimmy in the 2-hole, Cam in the 3-hole, and then myself in the 4-hole. And we'll have, oh my God, Caleb. Sorry, I kept wanting to call him Kyle. Caleb. We'll have Caleb playing right field, but then, if somebody struggles off at the plate, we may make a move. But, he's there. He's going to be our full-time right fielder. And then our 5th bat off the bench if somebody struggles or goes through a downturn, which high chances that's me. But
you gotta have a better attitude than that, man.
well, I
just
mean,
let me rattle you with my one
no,
white
you're
blank
good.
and taking it.
I'm gonna have the same approach I've had the last couple of years, and it's worked out okay. It's just been in limited at bats, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do with those 4, and then Caleb will be out in right field, so everybody's gonna be playing.
Cool. No, it's awesome. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to, obviously this season, but then just game whatever we are, 2 or 3 coming up here, and hopefully have some good weather on.
Yeah,
we Cinco de Mayo. Is that what it is?
it is Cinco.
On?
It is Cinco de Drinko.
Yeah.
Please,
luckily we're early.
And
early.
I hope nobody brings tequila, because it's everything I got to drink that tequila when the Yankees start chanting. That's about as much tequila as I drink all year. So it's tough.
No promises.
Okay. Anything else?
No, man. Thanks, Brian. This has been awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it, bud. Thanks for coming on again. As always love having you on the podcast. Got to get you on more. So, everybody, we will talk to you soon. See ya.
See you.